Welcome back, everybody. Dren608 plays. We're playing XCOM Enemy Within here. We had just 2 sessions back. We had an abduction mission. Last session, we had a terror mission. So things are stacking up here at the end of the month, and I don't have a lot of credits to actually do anything with. I don't think I have a whole lot I can really sell. I have to do this. I think I have that going. I guess I could sell off this, but that's really not going to get me a large amount of anything. So I'm going to hang on to those. The reason why I'm hanging on to those is because I'm thinking I'm going to need to build some other things. In our terror mission... Was it the terror mission, or was it the... I think it was the abduction mission. I really got... Yeah, I got really whacked here. Shylong and Rogue both took serious hits. I had to reload on Rogue because I misplayed her. I misclicked when I was trying to heal. So I reloaded from like right before she healed herself and actually have her heal herself instead of him. Which was, you know, dumb. Guess I'm going to have to take the lightning out, see how it works. I am trying to push up... I pushed up Annette. She's now a captain in the Assault. And I might bring along Magira too on these missions to try and... I have to try and push up the psychics. I need a couple of psychics. Unfortunately, this one's an Assault. If Fatima or Hawkins... If I'd had one more person who was a heavy, I could take out like the base 4 all being psychic, and then like an extra support person or and a mech or something, or the lightning and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to take out the lightning next time as well, depending on what my mission is, because I've got... Does the Scilabs cost anything? I'm wondering if I should try to push one of these guys in there and see if they're psychic as well. That'll give me one of every type. Okay, I don't think it costs me anything, so I'm just going to let him get checked on. And I am doing the plasma rifle. Okay. And then after I do the plasma rifle, I'm going to do the... there's a... another autopsy I need to do. Okay. So we're going to push up a little bit of time here. I think I get another satellite here.
Our satellite is prepped and standing by for launch.
So that gives me a little bit.
We are ready to deploy it on your orders.
Okay, if I go here, that takes me out of there. I can go over here, and I'm not sure, but I think I need to launch... I can launch a satellite into Argentina or into Australia, and I'm going to save those for when they actually go up. This would give me 60... This would give me... We have ways. So I did that right away. If I did that right away... The we have ways means I get instant... autopsies or interrogations?
Stop stalling and get your asses out there.
I think I'm going to hold off for now. Till the hyperwave comes online. Alright, let's push up. I know what I need to do. I need to check on my ships. No, I gotta wait till he's built. So this one's gonna be in Europe. This one gets built. Oh no, this one's going to... And this one's going to Asia. So I have Asia and Europe. And the next one goes... This one's going to be put in South America, and then I'll build another one for Africa, but I think I'm going to lose Africa before I can do anything about it, because I can't drop satellites there because they already have satellites in place. Right? Alright, let's push this up a little bit.
Satellite coverage now available over.
Okay, we got the
Japan.
research done for the plasma sniper. We'll see how much that costs. Research project is complete. Assigned to research. We can build that. Perhaps it was inevitable that we'd eventually call upon to develop a weapon of this kind, just as we did with the advent of the laser-based weapons, by concentrating our efforts on a single focused discharge of plasma. Ignoring some of the previous design constraints regarding size, weight, and rate of fire, we've developed an extremely lethal long-range weapon. Our snipers will undoubtedly be pleased with this weapon's ability to devastate hostile targets from previously unheard-of distances. In any case, this weapon is not ready for fabrication and engineering. Yes, I have to build by it. We need to do this. I need how many more of this? I need 75 weapons fragments just to research that. So which means it's probably not going to happen. This is going to happen in a day.
Another variation on a previously identified specimen, this is the heavy floater. As you can see, the aliens have made substantial improvements to the armor and weapons systems available, while removing some of its exposed vulnerabilities. An extremely dangerous combatant.
Yeah, tell me about it. That's why I have everybody with plasma stuff. Alright, in engineering, what can't I buy? The plasma sniper rifle costs 187 credits. 187 credits. I can't hope to build that. Oh, I really want that so bad, but I don't... See, they won't let me sell. I really want to build at least one of these. Yeah, I'm kind of stuck. I am kind of stuck. Plasma cannons don't cost that much. I can get one once the airplane comes up. I don't see any reason, since theirs get bought immediately, I see no reason to buy them before I get there. This thing... Upgrade cost is 112 to upgrade one of these. I built these wrong, by the way. So for you that are playing at home, when you do this, if you take the kinetic strike module, you want to take the restorative mist at the second level. And if you're going to put a grenade launcher on it, at the first level you want to take a flamethrower. So you basically have one that's basically can damage from range with grenades, can damage up close with a flamethrower, plus his big butt gun. And then this one is, I have the ability to heal myself, get in close to beat things up, and still have the big ass gun. So I could build a new mech and build it right, but it doesn't let me sell the old ones. Can I dismiss those in the barracks? I don't think I can dismiss that in any way. Get back any money on it. Grab a mech trooper, loadout. Yeah, see, they don't let you sell your stuff. They're not letting me sell it in the gray market. Nobody wants the mech suit. Right? I don't see it in here as something I can sell. Which is very, 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 very bad. It would be nice if I could sell off that, you know, build a new mech suit and sell off the old one. build it the way I want. I want to build it as a massive damage dealer. So I would give it...
Now that we've got the firepower to match, I think we can take them.
No we can't. You're dreaming, sir. You're dreaming. I don't have the money to take him. I don't think I'm going to make it to the council. Well, it's only 3 days to council report. Do we get away with this?
Now available over
Okay, so this is
Brazil.
done. So let's read this out. Heavy floater optics. Advanced repair project available in the foundry. Yeah, I don't have the money to do anything in the foundry. Another variation on a previously identified specimen. This is the heavy floater. A cursory examination reveals substantial improvements to the armor and weapon systems available to the creature. Much of the exposed tissue of the floater's most obvious vulnerability has either been shielded or removed entirely. With these modifications in mind, it would appear these aliens choose to move towards a greater reliance on mechanical and cybernetic upgrades rather than continued developing the specimen's organic form. However, we have still uncovered a number of redundant organic systems within the heavy floater's torso that were clearly duplicated to enhance its survivability. If we were to follow a similar genetic modification path within our old soldiers, we might be able to prevent many of the life-threatening injuries that our troops face in combat. We may also be able to gain further insight into this creature's unique abilities in combat if another specimen is targeted in the field of the unit. In the unit analysis view. I do not know what that is. Advanced repair and goes we would develop a process that would reduce the repair times of our fighter craft and shiv units significantly. Okay. And I can't do that because I need 4 or 5 more. A total 75 and I've only got 30. And I have no way of getting more weapons fragments. So, again, one of the improvements that they did in Xenonauts 2 over XCOM is that if your scientists aren't doing anything, they each like earn $1 a day or something. In Xenonauts, it might be like, here it might be like 0.5 round down of the scientists or something, like in a game week or something that you should have them earn, but have them earning a very little amount of credits, like by writing papers and disseminating information. I find it odd that I can't sell like my laser cannon or I can't sell any of my advanced tech to anyone, which is very scary. Alright, we gotta go see if we can get to the Mission Council report or if they're gonna hit us with something else. Only 3 days, let's see if we make it. Of course not. Why did India go up? Exalt operation. The Exalt cell is exposed for now, but we'll go into hiding soon. Okay, we gotta go send somebody there. Exalt cell present. We're going to... Do I really think it's there? Exalt base is in a country you can play in Civilization 5. I haven't looked that up. I'm gonna go for another one and see if I can get a little bit more in this. Alright, not Yuri. I always send in him, right? Send in him with,
Really coming down to the wire now.
Okay, I need to go back out here. God bless it. Give me a soldier, any soldier. Who did I give that to? Actually, can I just go build another one? No, I can't. I need 70 and I only have 66. Alright, we're going to have to go to the gray market. We're gonna sell one of those. Now I have 75. Go back to engineering, go here, tell them to get me another plasma pistol. Do that. It's immediate. Now I can go back to... Where do I have to go? I have to go to here. not here. Not here. It's here, right? Covert operations. No. Covert operation, loadout. You get a plasma pistol and a couple alien grenades. And hopefully you won't die. He only has an aim of 89. But, why is his aim so low? But he has a high will. So, maybe. Alright, and we will send him on the mission, so at the beginning of the next month.
Deployed to disrupt Exalt cell in India.
So hopefully it'll bring it down. I didn't think India was that
I'm starting
strong.
to wonder if we'll really figure out what the reason for all this was.
Do we care? Okay, 2 days to the report. Oh, no, I don't want to go there. I'll see if they're going to pop anything else on me.
Excavation incoming transmission.
Okay, so we get our month-end report.
We are
How'd we do?
extremely impressed with the progress of the XCOM project thus far, Commander. Your recent results were beyond our expectations, and that is not a statement this council makes lightly.
Okay, so we got one council mission completed. We shot down a UFO and recovered it. Terror mission stopped 1. Abduction stopped. Satellites launched 3. I won't be able to get that bonus anymore. Research projects completed 9. I won't have any of those left, and a UFO rated. So I got 12 engineers, 14 scientists, and 1,400. I don't think that's net. I think that's gross. Air and space and expert knowledge.
Remember, we will be watching.
Okay, so now I can go build stuff. So this is going to be, yeah, at 17 minutes, we're probably going to be just base stuff here.
The new engineers arrived
Okay.
this morning, Commander.
In the foundry.
We're always glad to have more help down here.
That would improve their stuff. This takes weapon fragments. Damn it. This would increase the aim of people using a pistol, but it uses up all my weapons fragments, and I can't really afford those until I get more weapons fragments. Our technology install better actuators to support structures in the kinetic strike module, which should increase the force output by 50%. Shaped armor. Alloys. That would make us... Basically would give us better armor on the mech trooper. That is on our mech guys, right? And again, weapons fragments. I don't have weapons fragments to use. We can make the medikit better. Let's do that. It's going to take a long time, so we'll just get that going.
I'll make sure production begins immediately. And as soon as we've got something, I'll be in touch.
Now, what can I build? Can I build my plasma sniper? Where's my plasma sniper rifle? Plasma sniper rifle. Okay. I'm gonna build one of those. I'll get one of those right away. No. don't think I really need much else. Maybe a plasma pistol in the future. Got mimic beacons for my guys. This does. Robotic and psionics are immune. So, see, I wish I could sell these things off. So that's Seeker Rex. That's Thin Men. I need chrysalid corpses, which I don't have any because that's what I would have needed to build that. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Just build scopes. How many scopes do I have? I have 3. I don't know why I have them on, but particle cannon. Oh, I think I have those on my guys already. I gotta make sure that I've got particle cannons on my guys, because those are very expensive. I don't think I have those on my guys. Let's go check. So this is gonna be me just checking things out here. Where's my trooper? What do we have on here? Railguns. Okay, so I do not have particle cannons. So I need to build at least one particle cannon. Right? What have I got? 748 left? Oh, stop! Hit the wrong thing. So I want to build at least one particle cannon. So I can put that on somebody. Should I build another alloy cannon? So I can take 2 assaults? That's an interesting question. Do you want to have 2 assaults? I could take 2 assaults with the... I only normally take 1 assault. Maybe I should take 2 assaults. Which is that? That's 140. I'm using up my Illyrian here. I gotta be kind of careful to not use it up too much. This thing, I wanted to build Archangel Armor, because that takes a bunch of Illyrium as well. Let's get at least 1 Archangel Armor. So we'll just build 1 of those, so I can put that on like one of my assaults. Because my snipers have the jumping ability, and I want to have like an assault be able to like fly up to things, or... I mean, ultimately I'd like to have everybody in Archangel Armor so they can all just fly around the battlefield, but can't really afford that because I don't have that much Illyrium. Was there anything else I needed to get? What was I going to do here? Oh, I was thinking of... I'm going to need a plasma cannon, which is 33. And do I build another Firestorm? I think if I build another Firestorm, I have enough to go around. Let's check the hangar out. Okay, this one's in 7 days. I've got 1 in North America. I've got 1 in Europe. I've got 1 in Asia. I got 1 being built, which will go to South America. So I need to build exactly 1 more. And then I'll be done building the ships, except for when they get shot down. which could very well happen. So we're going to build one more, because it takes 14 days. I don't need to build any more satellites, I don't think. We'll have to build a couple plasma cannons when they come online. Okay. Okay, that's enough there.
I appreciate your
Research.
efforts to
I don't think
support
I have
the
anything I
research
can
team,
research.
Commander. I've
Yeah,
already
I
put the new
need
recruits to work in
a
the
whole
lab.
bunch more weapons fragments. How am I doing on wounded? 2 days I get back Rogue. 7 days I get back Silent. He's not going to be back for a while. Oh no, I sent Yuri on the Assault. No wonder it wasn't any good. Oh, I screwed up. He's not the one I wanted to send on the Assault. I'm so dumb. I wasn't paying attention. Alright, what's my time? 26 minutes. Let's see if we can get up to whatever the next shenanigan's going to be. A whole bunch of stuff happens in 5 days, but I think some's gonna...
Contact detected.
A UFO has landed in South Africa. So we're gonna have to send the troops in. I'm not gonna have Yuri. So right now I've got Smokes and Gara, Captain Duran. So I've got Longbow. Oh, I need to edit him because he has a better gun now. Give him a better gun. Now, do we want him to be in this thing? Why is he only allowed to have this one? I thought he was allowed to... Yeah, I get the choice. Okay, I'm going against a full-blown ship landed. So it's going to have everybody in it. Do I need to have grenades? Or do I need to have like close in and extra healing? See, that's why I'm like, this is, if I'd have built this right, one of these suits would have flame and grenades, and the other one would have close in and healing. So when you're going to be in close quarters, you take the thing that punches things and the fact that you can heal yourself because you're close to aliens all the time. Alright, we are going to take this one and hope for the best. Hope I don't have to blow up too much. Alright, then I need to go check out who else I've got here. I need him because he's got like 4 grenades and 2 missiles and a shredder rocket along with his plasma. It's heavy. She's got an alloy cannon. Question is do I take 2 supports? Yeah, you need to change your loadout because you should be carrying a medikit. What else do you have? Laser pistol, alien grenade, and plasma rifle, and Titan armor. Do we have Archangel armor? What do I want to put in Archangel armor? There's a question for you. Who would be the best one to put in Archangel armor at this point? Because you only have... You're a fast-running healer. Or I could try to go grab... Who else do I have? Let's take you out and let's see who else we have here. Yeah, I'm very dumb that I put him on covert operation. I could take another assault. Or is the support going to be more important? You know, that's the question. Normally I would have 2 heavies that could do suppression. I guess we'll go with keep her with the support. Keep him with the support. Megara. He's got his abilities, so he can do healing and stuff, and he moves really fast. Maybe I can keep him from dying. He doesn't have the greatest aim. I guess that's what we'll do. Alright, before we do this, go back to briefing. Out of here. We're going to do a hard save. They don't let you name your saves, which is very annoying. And then we're going to go to the landing site. We're going to take these guys in and see if we can do this. Last time we went in here, it was a nightmare. That's when I had all kernels. This is going to be even worse.
Touching down.
All right, let's land, and then we will put in a break and do
We're heading to South Africa for this
battle
one,
next time.
and we need to get down there fast. It looks like the UFO landed out in the boonies. We need to secure the surrounding area and eliminate any hostiles before they threaten the local population.
Yeah, full complement of enemy crew is going to be heavy floaters, Mutons with their berserkers, commanders, sectoid commanders, and mechtoids, and maybe even something worse. I think there's one other worse thing that could be there, but I don't think that comes until I turn on the hyperwave. All right, we'll say launch mission because it'll save us right here in front of the mission. But I wanted to have the hard save in case I brought the wrong people.
HQ, this is Big Sky. We are in position and awaiting further orders.
Roger that, Big Sky. Strike 1, you are green to deploy. Approach with extreme caution. Current enemy status at the site is unknown.
Okay. All right. I've got to take this, so I'm going to be back in a minute. Okay. We will come back and go assault the vehicle. I don't remember. Before I go, I'm going to check something. Did Annette? I did not bring... Why doesn't it show me her equipment? Okay, it does not look like I brought her stun thing, so hopefully we don't see a new alien here that we need to stun and grab. Okay, I kind of screwed up. But she can do Psi-Panic, so she can maybe mess with some of their lesser beings and make them not do things. Alright? Okay. Anyway, if you like what you see, please hit the thumbs up button. Please leave comments on the playthrough. As a reminder, this is an everyman playthrough. So everyman playthrough, by my definition, and I do this for almost all my videos. I don't try to do super hard ones, and I try to not do super easy ones. I basically pick, it's as if I bought the game, I kind of know what it's about, so I play it on the normal difficulty, and I don't jazz it up, okay? This one is one where you can, this game here, you have tons of replayability just by mixing and matching all these things when you're starting up the game, even on normal. And then you can go up to the next level and do all that again, and then go up to the next level, the hardest level, and turn on all that stuff, and it gets to be very challenging. So I've gotten all the achievements except for one, which requires a face-to-face. You can also play this PvP, where you each get so many points and you build a team with those points based on your level of character. Their ranks cost so many points, and then you get their abilities and stuff like that. When you play PvP, there is a final Steam award or whatever that requires you to play specific people who have gotten this specific award themselves. I think it started out with maybe a handful of super backers or whatever that played the game, and then they in turn have to play PvP versus other people, and then it spreads. It's called the Plague, and I think you have to play someone who has the Plague, and I think you have to beat them to get it, because they keep it, but then they pass it on to you by you beating them, kind of thing. So it would be interesting to see. If anybody's watching this that has played the game before, if you have that Plague thing, please get in contact with me in the comments or on my Discord server, Dren608 Plays, and let me know, because I would really like to play someone, see if I can beat them with that has that thing, so that I could get that award. Because that's the only thing I'm missing right now. And I've not done well when I've played PvP with other people on this game. I tend to just get totally trashed because they know how to meta build better than I do. So I probably will never get that award, but it would be cute to be able to say that I have all the awards in the game. If you can, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 500 before the end of the summer. I'm at about 330. I'm approaching 340. So I'm slowly but surely picking people up. And there is a bunch of stuff going on the channel. If you do subscribe, please hit that notify bell, because you'll be notified when I post up videos, or I post up, schedule up streams, or I post up polls, which I do fairly regularly. Like when I'm going to start the next stream, what am I going to do in the next stream when one finishes. For example, we stream on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. On Wednesday, we had put up a poll, and when it was time for me to start streaming, the poll was 100% to play Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, so I'm streaming that on Wednesdays. It's an uninformed playthrough. I really don't know what I'm doing. I've read the manual. My sons gave me a couple of hints on a couple of puzzles that I was running into. And then one of them basically told me, don't build them the way the game presents your NPCs. Go look at their stats and build them that way. And I saw what he meant is that I had one person who looked like they were being built as basically they're a rogue in D&D terms. They're, stealthy, and they've got all these nefarious abilities, but they had a melee weapon. And it's like, they have a huge dexterity. They should be shooting guns. And then there's another guy who comes with a really big, heavy weapon. He has his own personal heavy weapon, but he has a really good strength, so he really should be a melee fighter. So I was like, oh, I see what you mean. And he's like, yeah, that's the problem, is that they present them as one thing, but they really should be something else. And I was like, okay, so I'm trying to now build towards their stats rather than the way they were presented to me. There's a couple people that are like very utilitarian. They don't have anything that stands out. So my son said, well, those are the ones that you just kind of, what do you need? What do you need in the party? Then you fill them out. They build them that way if you're going to take them. And he said, just concentrate on having 3 people with different stats that all cover, and just lavish everything on 3 people plus yourself, because you can only have 3 in the party to begin with, and whatever you do, you make sure you have at least 2 other people out there that can, super builds that are taking care of the holes that you have, and so on and so forth. So it was very instructive on how to take care of that, which I wish they would have done before I did the first episodic. This is episodic content right here, where I do it half an hour to 45-minute videos. There was another one I did, Star Wars Empire at War, where my sons did not help me to start with. I think they wanted to watch me fail so miserably. I played the Rebel Alliance, and I was crushed in 43 game days or something like that. It took me about 6 sessions to just get totally wiped out as the Rebellion. Then my sons explained to me how I had to play the game after they had their good laugh. I left that up there. That's in a playlist on the channel. You can watch it and watch somebody flounder right through this and not understand what's going on and just get them head handed to them. It was amusing when looking back at it. It was very upsetting at the time. It's like, that's not fair. I can't do anything about it. It's like, yeah, that's the whole point. You had to think way ahead. So, So that happens a lot in some of these games. We do stream on Fridays. I'm just trying to do an experiment there where we do computer role-playing games, but play the multiplayer role version of them. We started off with Baldur's Gate 3. My youngest Ace and I are playing in that. I'm a bard. They're a barbarian. But we've had trouble scheduling. We're lucky if we can get off once a month on that, and it kind of left a hole in my schedule on Friday afternoon or Friday mornings. I actually stream from 11. All my streams start at 11 a.m. Central because that's when it's quiet time around here. So I have a kind of a hole there where I'm only doing it once a month rather than once a week, which is what I really wanted to do. We did add a mod to let us increase our party size because we're having trouble trying to keep the companions getting all their story hooks in. We missed a couple already. And so we decided we would up the party size so we can take more companions with us. We don't take everybody, we take 4 more. So our total party of 6. Anyway, when we can't schedule that for various reasons, I usually am still available. And so Ace said, we'll start up a single player one to fill in when we can't do the multiplayer one. And I was kind of happy with that idea. I thought that might be a good idea. And then they said, and play a religion character. And I was like, oh, well, like who? And they were like, play Gale. And I was like, okay, there's some reason why you want me to play Gale, so we're going to see what that's all about. They've completed it 3 times, I think, now. I think our multiplayer game is their 4th playthrough. I don't know if they've completed it 3 times. I know they've started like 3 different characters, and I know they've completed it at least once. I completed it once as a ranger. That was my initial one. I did it as episodic content, and I've come to believe that when you're playing role-playing games, you really probably should stream them. You know, do a 2 or 3 hour stream of consciousness of what you're doing, rather than trying to remember what you were doing a half an hour ago when you stopped, and then you start up a next session type thing. So I'm going to be streaming role-playing games from now on, most likely, and I might start streaming even things like this, where I can do more in a session rather than worrying about the clock. Saturdays was a pick from about a year ago. Was a fan pick. Was to play Pathfinder Kingmaker as a female monk in Romance Tristan. I have technically ended the game once. At the end of Chapter 7, you fight the big boss, and then you get these sort of like epilogue dialogue choices. I picked the short one that says, okay, the game is over. And when you exit the map, then you get to see all your ending slides, and it shows you how successful you were. And it showed that we were successful in romancing Tristan. So I'm like, okay, I achieved the objective of the audience. Then I went back, fought the big battle again, and then I have that same list of things to choose, and I chose a different one that takes me into the Cursed King Queen, which is sort of an epilogue, high-level dungeon crawl. You start off cursed. You're down 60% of your damage output and stuff, so it's very hard. You have 4 things to do that, like little mini quests that you get to go through, and then you get back your power like 15% each time. And then once you get back all your power, then you can do a couple other things, and then you get to, there's a downloadable content that I have installed that's where it gets resolved. So I got that resolved, and then I started in on the main dungeon crawl, where you have to go get 3 pieces of an artifact and turn them into one of the NPCs who takes care of it. And when you get all 3 of those in there, then you get to go fight the big boss. So I'm going to be crawling around the next session. I'm going to see how much of the map area I can explore, not only just getting the 3 items, but I want to try to get as many experience points as I can. I don't think I can reach 20th level, so that's why I'm going to try and fight every battle I can fight to try and get to 20th level. I did put up a poll. Everybody said, so far there's been 2 votes on that poll, and they said no, go in as a 19th level. Don't use the mod manager to add a level to your characters. So it looks like I'll probably be going in under-leveled for the big boss and probably get my head handed to me. I'm planning on trying to set it up so that I only fight the big boss in a stream. So because it's 5 levels of the big boss. There's like one after the other, no rest in between, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's like do this guy, and then as soon as he's done, he shows up in a different form, and you know you've got to quickly buff as you're trying to fight him, try to get off your buffs as well, and then um, you know he'll take them away, of course, as you're going through the battle, and try and healing everybody and everything right at the beginning of the battles and things like that. So it's going to be very much an issue of whether I have enough consumables to get to the final one and make it through it. It's you're basically fighting 20th levels and their minions 3 times. Then you have to do a word puzzle game, rhymes and stuff. And if you fail that, you get debuffed for the final boss. And if you succeed in that, you don't get debuffed, and then you get to fight the final boss, who's even worse than the first 4. So it's all the same guy, but in different forms, and it's very much like a video game. You know, beat this boss, beat this boss, beat this boss. Use your consumables to recharge yourself and keep going. Unfortunately, there's no actual break in between each one of the bosses, so you've got to be regenerating on the fly. So I'm going to have one of my characters is basically going to try to stay invisible and just keep casting all the, you know, healing spells and stuff like that. We'll see how it works. Anyway, you can join me on Saturdays for that. So there you have it. Stream 3 times a week. I'm probably going to be doing some Xenonauts 2. Looks like Milestone 5 is finally stabled out. So I will be checking that out. I am in the playtest team, and I am also a Kickstarter backer. So I'm fairly familiar with it. I want to make sure that all the things that we've added so far are actually working really well. And then I might try to do a stream of that where I do like 1 month. Like here, you notice how everything's monthly. I might try to do a stream where I'm just doing a month of that game at a time. You know, 2 or 3 hours to get through each game month. Explaining things as we go so you can see the mechanics and stuff that they've changed and things they've added and stuff like that. So I got to do some of that offline so I make sure that there's no glitches so that when I'm streaming, I don't suddenly go, oh, oops, streams, you know, the game's crashed. We're not going to be doing that today. So I want to make sure that I'm not going to run into that, at least for the first half of the game. So I can show you pretty much everything you need to know. I think by the 6th or 7th month, you're pretty much set, and then you just have to kind of like finish the game. You have to finish the events and stuff like that that come up. So we'll see how that goes. So that's going to be coming. There'll be some other stuff coming. I did do some Heroes of Might and Magic 5. I put up a poll to see if anybody wanted me to keep going. Nobody's voted on that. So again, subscribe, hit that notify bell. You can find that stuff on my channel. You can vote on the polls. And let me know what you'd like me to do in the future. Okay? I have some ideas of things that I want to try and put out. But I usually run, if I get into a position where I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should do this one or that one, I put that up for the for people, and I pay attention to requests in the comments. So, all that said, I'm Dren608. Until we meet again, stay safe and bye-bye.